The empty rooms, the lingering heartache. Colt Johnson stood in the muted glow of his Arizona living room, surrounded by empty picture frames and the echoes of half-finished renovations. The breakup had left more than just emotional scars, it had left physical spaces hollow. The weight of his health struggles, a recent diagnosis that made every breath feel like an uphill battle, was passed down his chest like a solemn inheritance. Yet, there he was, a man used to unpredictable plot twists, but never one like this. The rumble of the TV was turned off, and the only sound was his own heartbeat, urging him forward. 2. The doctor's report and the wake-up call when the doctor had delivered the news: chronic fatigue and an anxiety disorder that had slowly clawed its way into every corner of his life. Colt felt unmoored. The prognosis offered hope, therapy, medication, and time, but for a reality TV alum who had survived public scrutiny, all that mattered was getting back to feeling like himself again. A plan was drawn: structured workouts, mindful eating, and mental health check-ins. It was mundane, it was necessary, yet amidst the newly scheduled healthy days, there was room for something unexpected. 3. The chance encounter. Colt wasn't looking for love, especially not in the waiting room of the physical therapist's office. But there she was, Dana, a serene presence with laughter like wind chimes and eyes that knew stories he didn't yet understand. She was recovering from a wrist sprain, joking about how she tried to channel her inner Pinterest guru and crafted a macrame art piece without measuring anything. When she winked and said, "It's art or a crime scene," Colt laughed so hard he had to steady himself against the wall. A casual coffee after rehab was offered. He agreed, and just like that, the routine heel days glittered with possibility. 4. Mishaps. Macchiato's growing affection. Their first date, a mismatched adventure of trying to choose healthy from the menu, then laughing their way through him accidentally spilling his coffee foam like a Jackson Pollock painting across the table. As they talked, it was clear this was not a fling. She spoke about her life photographing deserts and mountain trails, capturing souls through landscapes. Colt spoke about his roller coaster journey on reality TV, but also about how his recent health scare made him confront who he really was, a man longing for authenticity. 4. Connection. 4. Quiet love. Every meeting brought a new layer: an evening sharing her homemade vegan chile, an afternoon where she showed him how to paint the local desert sunrise and how to watch the sunrise without spilling paint thinner, thanks to Colt's previous overzealous approach. 5. The first I care. It wasn't "I love you." Not yet, those words still belonged to chapters he wasn't ready to reopen. But there was a moment after her vigorous rehab stretches, when she winced slightly. Instinct propelled Colt to rub her back gently. "You okay?" he asked. Her reply, "Yeah, it's just nice to feel like someone still cares." That sentence, simple, warm, and honest, pierced the armor around his heart. In that moment, Colt realized that caring deeply and being cared for in return didn't need grand gestures or confessions. Sometimes, it flowed in the small relief of human touch. 6. The shadow of the past. Of course, not everything was seamless. His ex's name lurked behind the corners of his mind. Media whispers occasionally stirred old anxieties. Is he moving too fast? Friends asked. Is this healthy, or just a distraction? Colt didn't let their doubts lodge deeper. Instead, he talked to Dana about boundaries, fears, and how healing didn't come in linear segments. One day, after a shared therapy session, she said, "It's okay if you fall in love slowly or even awkwardly. My heart has the time it needs." That line, softly delivered after therapeutic mix of questions, felt like a lifeline. 7. A rough patch. Real healing. Then came the relapse of fatigue. The night where Colt woke up in a panic, feeling his heart race. Glancing over, he found Dana awake in her room, on the phone with her mom, worrying. The next day, she brought over herbal teas, on his doctor's maybe not list, but he accepted nonetheless, and left an audiobook for him, a story about resilience and second chances. He handed her a journal entry: "You make my heart feel normal again, even when my body doesn't." She smiled and squeezed his hand, whispering, "And you make me feel like sharing my life's messes is brave again." 8. A dance in the desert. One clear night, they drove out to where the city lights faded into open highway, and the desert stretched into eternity. She brought a small blue portable speaker. He brought the courage to dance. They twirled, faces illuminated by stars, not worrying about who watched. He felt his breath steady, his heartbeat in rhythm with hers, and even his health issues felt like a distant chord, still there, but part of a bigger harmony. 9. Renewal. A shared tomorrow. A few weeks later, Colt booked a small camper trailer. Together, they planned a road trip across the southwest Arizona to New Mexico, climbing parks, painting sunsets, catching healing in the open air. He knew that in a few months, cameras might return, film crews, reality checkpoints, social media murmurs. But this time, he'd step forward with someone by his side who grounded him, whose laughter displaced whispers of health worries, whose presence made vulnerability feel like strength. They carved their own narrative, not 90-Day Fiancé season whatever, but Colt's real healing. And their love story didn't need 90 days. It needed patience, humor, small surrender, and the kind of partnership that celebrated strength found in healing. Epilogue: How love health intertwine. Colt's story, half real, half creative imagining, highlights how love can bloom in unexpected ways. Healing isn't glamorous. It's mundane routines, doctor visits, emotional safety nets, and, occasionally, someone who brings coffee with foam mustaches. Love doesn't erase pain, but it softens it. Small kindnesses, whether herbal tea or gentle touch, offer deeper impact than bold declarations. Recovery is collective. You reconnect not just with your body or heart, but with someone who sees both and stays anyway. So here's to Colt, or anyone finding their path through health scare shadows, who opens their door to something new even when unsure. Maybe the rooms are still empty, maybe the heart is fragile, but stepping out to meet someone there unexpected, caring, can change the story. One coffee splattered laugh at a time. I hope you enjoy this narrative. If you'd like it tweaked, expanded, or focused on a specific emotional tone, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to help craft it just the way you envision.